before I'm going to ask you guys a quick question. I'm going to give you a little background on myself just so you know where I'm coming from. I do work for the Department of Labor, but I have 15 plus years as a teacher, grade ages 4 through 21. I have done, um, I was a reading teacher, I was a classroom teacher, and I was a special needs career and development teacher for high risk youth. So that is my background. And before I get started, I just want to ask you guys a few questions. This time you can mute, but we'll save questions till after. So in your programs, what kind of careers do you have that you offer to your youth? We're just thinking about career pathways that you're thinking about to just give us better ideas when we get into career zone and asking questions about like career exploration. If you want, you can chat
Hello.
too. Hi.
My name is Erica Lopez Brown. I am the PTech or the Work-Based Learning Coordinator at ITC. And we offer currently 6 pathways. Two are PTech, 3 are CTE, and the last one is not state approved. So the pathways we offer is electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, culinary arts, media communications, automotive technician, and biotechnology.
That's great. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah.
Great. Anybody else? Oh, I see a
Hi,
chat.
I'm Brittany from STEAM High School. I'm the Work-Based Learning Coordinator. We have a variety of programs. We have animation and game design, dance, which will be a CT program next year. We also have business entrepreneurship, construction management, semiconductor, music, movie, theater, and production, robotics. So career fields that align with technology, performing arts.
Wow, that's great.
And I can
Uh,
read the chat.
oh, thank you,
Um,
Sue.
Magdalene offers music, movie, theater production, CTE, jobs and entertainment industry, lighting, sound, camera operating, production design, and building.
Great. We sound like really good programs that I wish I had in high school.
I know.
All right, so I'm gonna let Sue move on and we're gonna discuss the rest with you guys. So thank you all for coming and I'll see you in a minute.
So our objective today is to foster collaboration between the Syracuse City School District's Career and Technical Education Department and the New York State Department of Labor to effectively disseminate information on labor laws and youth employment guidelines to educators and counselors. So our goal is to educate middle and high school career and technical education teachers and counselors on key New York State labor laws and employment guidelines relevant to minors, to inform attendees about WIOA, which is Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and its implications for youth employment services, to introduce participants to resources and tools such as Career Zone that support youth career exploration and employment, to equip educators and counselors with resources and information to support youth with career exploration and employment opportunities, to highlight the role and benefits of the Teacher Ambassador Program in bridging the gap between education and workforce development, to empower teachers and counselors to guide students in overcoming employment gaps and pursuing successful career paths, and finally, to facilitate a Q&A session to address specific concerns and provide clarity on youth employment and regulation opportunities. So I'm going to start with this. I think you should all have received the laws in your email, but if you would like to if you would like to copy this into your browser and follow along if you don't have that booklet, I'll just give you a minute to do that.
I'll share the link in the chat also.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
Great.
So this presentation outlines New York State labor law and other regulations governing the employment of minors. And the guiding principle is always to apply the most restrictive law, be it state or federal, that best protects the minor employee. So for minimum age for employment and the exceptions with those, the general rule is minors not yet 14 years old may not be employed at any time. 14 to 15-year-olds may work after school and on vacations, but are generally prohibited from factory work, except in a closed office or clerical or delivery. 16 to 17-year-olds, if they're not attending school, they may work full-time, and factory work is permitted for them. So key exceptions to these rules. 12 plus years old, it's okay for them to hand harvest berries, fruits, vegetables, bridge caddies, outdoor work for parents not connected to a business. And I'm going to stop here because I thought bridge caddies was a typo. I don't know. I've never heard of it before. So rather than delete it, I looked it up. So I don't know if anyone's ever heard of a bridge caddy, but a bridge caddy is exactly that. A person who assists a tournament director by collecting score slips, moving boards, and preparing tables and materials. So they work for bridge tournaments, the game. That's just a fun fact that you can pass on to everyone. So to go back, 11 plus years old can be newspaper carriers, and 15 days old persons may be child performers or models. So let's talk about employment certificates and permits, meaning working papers. They're generally required for most employees under 18 years of age, including high school graduates and minors working for their parents. Employers must keep certificates on file at their work location, and the minors must keep permits in their possession while they're working. The types of certificates and permits are, for certificates, the AT-18 is student non-factory. The AT-19 is student general. The AT-20 is full-time, and those are issued for general employment, and the employer will keep those on file. For permits, the AT-24 is for farm work. AT-23 covers newspaper carriers. AT-26 is for street trades, and those are issued for specific occupations, and the minor carries those. Key exemptions for these, meaning no certificates or permits are needed, are caddies, and I think that means caddies. It doesn't say bridge caddies. Babies 14 plus and babysitters 14 plus, and 16 to 17-year-olds for farm work, and casual yard work for house and household chores. 14 and 15 years old can do that without power-driven machinery. 16 to 17-year-olds can do that even with power-driven machinery, but federal law always restricts machinery use for under 16. Hours of work, the New York State laws are very stringent about that. When school is in session, 14 and 15-year-olds can only work maximum 3 hours a school day, 8 hours on a non-school day, and 18 hours a week, and they can work between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. 16 to 17-year-olds can work maximum 4 hours a day, or preceding the school day, they can work 8 hours. And preceding the school day, and they can work 8 hours on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and holidays, up to a total of 28 hours a week. They can work between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. There's a restriction for night work. They can work after 10 p.m. and up to midnight on a day preceding a school day with parental consent, and they must have a certificate of satisfactory academic standing. On a day preceding a non-school day, parental consent allows work until midnight. When school is not in session, like on a vacation, 14 to 15-year-olds can work maximum 8 hours a day, 40 days a week, and they can work between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. on June 21st to Labor Day. 16 to 17-year-olds can work maximum 8 hours a day, 48 hours a week, and they are allowed to work between 6 a.m. and midnight. So it's important for employers to remember that they must post a schedule. Total hours worked for multiple employers cannot exceed the maximums. There are some prohibited occupations for safety first, and both New York State and federal laws list hazardous occupations in those cases. And in those cases, the higher standard applies as always. Under 18 in New York State, it includes most construction work, operating certain saws and shears, slaughtering, power-driven woodworking, metal, bakery machines, logging, mining, helper on a motor vehicle, and explosives. Under 16, by New York State law, they can do most factory work, painting, exterior cleaning, and operating certain washing grinding machinery. Under 16 for federal, operating power-driven machinery other than office, public messenger, transportation, warehousing, construction, except office and sales, mining, food processing, for example, flaying fish, operating power-driven mowers, and retail food service, cooking, except soda fountains and lunch bars, baking, power-driven food slicers and grinders. There are serious consequences for violation and penalties. For criminal offenses, fines, imprisonment, or both for labor law violations. Civil penalties for illegal employment. The first violation is up to $10,000. Second violation is up to $25,000. Third violation is up to $55,000. And if any violation results in serious injury or death to the minor, penalties start at $3,000. Federal FLSA is up to $10,000 per violation. Double indemnity, workers' comp. If a minor under 18 is injured while working in violation of labor laws, their workers' compensation is double the regular award. The employer must pay the additional amount directly. And anti-retaliation. Employers cannot penalize employees for complaining about violations. So the key takeaway here is strict adherence to child labor laws is essential for protecting minors and avoiding severe legal and financial consequences. And now I'll pass it to Antoinette.
Hi again, everyone. I just want to let you know I shared in the chat the booklet for my employment of minors. I shared DOL's working paper website, and I also shared NYSED's employment of minors webpage, which has all of the attachments for the working papers that Sue mentioned. And update that I just found out, well, I knew, but forgot to add, there is going to be a transition to digital working papers. So as part of the fiscal year 26 state budget, the governor signed into law effective in 2027 that will require the New York State Department of Labor to create a statewide electronic database of minor employees and their employers and implement an online portal for electronic working papers. So that's going to help a lot. But in the meantime, there are all your attachments in that NYSED website. So I'm going to get into WIOA, so your toolkit for student success. Next page, Sue. So what exactly is WIOA? So first and foremost, WIOA, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, is a federal law. It's a significant piece of legislation in the United States that has been put into place to reauthorize and strengthen our nation's workforce development programs. At its heart, WIOA has a core mission focused on opportunity. Its main goal is to provide individuals with the essential skills, training, and support that they need to secure good paying jobs and ultimately lead to success in today's economy. So WIOA takes a comprehensive approach. It works to connect job seekers, employers, and educational institutions to build a more effective and responsive workforce system for everyone. So the Act covers a wide range of important key areas, which include job training, career counseling, education, various support services that can help individuals on their path to employment. And so you might be wondering, why does it matter to schools? Because WIOA can directly impact the resources and pathways that are available to help our students transition smoothly from their education into like a successful career. It's a vital piece of the puzzle in preparing them for their futures. Next page, Sue. So WIOA offers a broad vision for youth, providing a comprehensive framework for delivering high quality services. This framework is going to guide young people through every stage from initial career exploration all the way to successful employment. To achieve this, WIOA has several key goals for youth. So it focuses on, career exploration and guidance, helping young people discover potential career paths that align with their interests and strengths. It supports educational attainment, ensuring students have the resources they need to complete their education. It provides opportunities for skill training. Oh, someone's unmuted. All right, it's muted. Okay. WIOA provides opportunities for skill training in particular areas with high demand through programs like internships and apprenticeships. It's about employment, connecting youth with valuable job opportunities. And importantly, it facilitates pathways to post-secondary education and registered apprenticeship, which opens doors to further learning and skilled trades. A key aspect of WIOA is its emphasis on integrated service delivery. This means it encourages a coordinated system that brings together various resources to provide seamless support for our youth. It also recognizes the distinct needs of both in school and out of school, offering specific pathways and support tailored to each group. In essence, WIOA, it's thoughtfully designed to give young people the essential tools and opportunities they need that are going to build their bright and successful futures. Next, Sue. So, who eligibility and support. So I'm going to go over the WIOA Youth Program eligibility and support. So we serve two groups. We serve out-of-school youth, ages 16 to 24, not currently attending school. In-school youth, ages 14 to 21, currently attending a registered school program. Eligibility requires facing at least one barrier, such as a common barrier like disability, pregnant or parenting, justice system involvement, homelessness, and foster care. Additional barriers, especially for out-of-school youth, include high school dropout, being basic skills deficient, an English language learner, or youth needing extra help. Another barrier is low income, which is generally required to enroll in in-school youth. And you have to add some specific barriers for out-of-school youth. But usually for out-of-school youth, another barrier will enroll them and make them low income. And a need for additional assistance, those requiring extra support to enter or complete educational programs and secure employment. WIOA provides services like career guidance, training, and job placement. So our goal is to help youth overcome barriers, achieve their goals, and to become self-sufficient. So this is our youth and young adult program model. The WIOA Youth Program model is designed to support young people by focusing on several key areas. It emphasizes youth employment, pathways coaching, administration, and partnerships, which are going to create a comprehensive support system for the youth. The program is structured around the design framework, which includes services like intake and eligibility, an objective assessment completed for the youth, and the development of an individual service strategy, also known as an ISS. The core of the model lies in its program elements, which are categorized into education. This includes alternative secondary ed and integrated education opportunities that combine with workforce preparation. It includes employment and training focused, which covers labor market information and occupational skills training, as well as work experiences. Well-being focused, this element is going to address comprehensive guidance and counseling, along with supportive services. Then we have growth focused. This includes adult mentoring and opportunities for leadership and development. And transition focused. This component ensures a smooth transition for youth, including post-secondary transition planning and follow-up services. Just to let you know, so when you enroll a youth in the WIOA program, Every youth is going to have a design framework, their design framework, including the objective assessment, the ISS, and the intake and eligibility, and have to have at least one of the other program elements. So essentially, the WIOA Youth Program model serves as a structured approach to help young people achieve their educational and career goals through a combination of academic support, skills development, personal growth, and transition planning. So why is it important for middle and high school teachers and counselors? Um, so for educators and counselors, it offers a wealth of resources and pathways that are going to help your students gain essential skills, the knowledge, and the experience they need for post-secondary education, training, and ultimately employment. The WIOA funding is instrumental in supporting a variety of youth programs. These can range from career exploration and skill development initiatives to internships and academic support. By leveraging these programs, we can significantly enhance our students' learning experiences and provide them with opportunities they might not otherwise have access to. A core principle of WIOA is its emphasis on education and training that directly leads to in-demand industry and occupations. This perfectly aligns with your own goals as educators and counselors, which are going to be to equip your students with the most relevant skills for today's dynamic workforce. Furthermore, WIOA has specific provisions designed to support youth with disabilities, English language learners, and the other populations who may face barriers to employment. If you work with these students, understanding how WIOA can offer tailored support will be incredibly beneficial. It also champions career exploration and guidance, which is absolutely crucial for helping students make informed decisions about their futures. We can utilize WIOA resources to facilitate these important discussions and connect our students with valuable career development services. Finally, WIOA actively encourages collaboration between educational institutions, workforce development boards, and employers. This presents a fantastic opportunity for us as teachers to become active partners in these efforts, bringing our unique expertise to the design and delivery of youth programs. WIOA is a comprehensive framework which is designed to empower youth with the tools and opportunities they need to thrive in their chosen careers. So to wrap up with WIOA, we've discussed who is eligible for WIOA youth program and the types of available support services. If you know a young person in Syracuse area who might benefit from these services, here's how you can help connect them. Your primary resource for WIOA services in Central New York is CNY Works. So you can find more detailed information and specific contact points by visiting these websites. We encourage you to explore this resource to learn more about how to make a referral and ensure youth in our community have access to these valuable opportunities. So before we go on, your process is going to look like a student comes to you, is having barriers for employment. You may need funding for that student to maybe go on to a skills trade that they need to get into, or maybe earn a certificate in something. So you're going to refer that student to a career center at which is CNY Works, and then they're gonna get like a case manager or counselor who's gonna, you know, go over the intake and eligibility, do the design framework, first see if they're eligible, then go into the design framework and the ISS with the student. And then from there, they would work with that case manager to continue the services. And then, they would end up getting the program elements that are designed for them to help with their career development needs. So now the fun part. I did finish WIO a little early, but that's good because now I get to explore possibilities and we're going to look at career zone together. Does anyone here? Oh, hold on a second. That's Sue. Never mind. Hi, Sue. Your turn.
I can have a little bit of fun too. You just relax there. Uh, so let's take a look at Career Zone. And so this is my favorite. So by a show of virtual hands or real hands, how many of you have heard of Career Zone? Amy, I'm seeing a couple. Yeah. looks like 5 or 6 people.
We're at
We're even more than that.
+2.
And a
Oh my
good
goodness.
thumbs up. Well, that's really encouraging. Glad to
Yes.
hear that. Um, so regardless of your level of exposure, and it sounds like a lot of you have some good exposure to it, or how often you've used it, we'd like to show all of you how Career Zone can be a valuable resource for both career exploration and financial empowerment with your students and young adults. Career Zone offers comprehensive career exploration beyond traditional boundaries, ensuring no potential passion and interest goes unexplored, no matter how unique or unusual they may be. And one of the key features of this online system is its ability to provide personalized guidance and recommendations based on individual profiles. So it's acting as a virtual mentor, basically. Career success is about developing a holistic set of skills, and Career Zone helps students identify and cultivate those skills. By creating a profile, the students can get tailored advice and insights that help them identify their strengths, which is very important. It's like having a virtual mentor at your fingertips, and they don't even have to have an account or create a profile online to use CareerZone. We know that career success isn't just about having one specific skill or talent, but about having a range of skills that can be applied in different contexts. So Career Zone helps students identify and cultivate these skills in a holistic manner. So that makes them well prepared for whatever career path they choose. Whether you're just introducing the topic of career exploration and helping students explore their strengths and skills at the grade school level, or supporting a student at the high school level to explore internships, resume buildings, and different occupations listed based on their interests and experience, Career Zone is a very valuable resource that can help you achieve those goals with your students. So let's take a closer look at how it can benefit your students. Um, so who can use Career Zone? Youth in grades 6 to 12 most often use Career Zone to start their career exploration journey by beginning with their interest, work values, and skill assessment tools to explore potential careers. A middle school and high school career portfolio are available to help youth create a meaningful plan for their future education and for their career choices. As the youth team, we strongly encourage parents and guardians, teachers and educators, and service providers to initiate career exploration with youth as early as 6th grade, because research has shown that starting as early as middle school is highly effective for long-term academic, professional, and personal success. And studies also indicate that early exposure increases student motivation, improves academic performance, aids in their career decision-making confidence, and it ultimately leads to a better job fit and higher earnings in their adulthood. Educators use the lesson plan database in the resource section to bring Career Zone into the classroom and to provide relevant career development activities for students. More than 50 lesson plans have been created following the Next Generation Learning Standards and the CDOS standards. Counselors utilize Career Zone as an important component of a comprehensive school counseling program. Resources are provided in Career Zone to help counselors stay up to date with the latest developments in the career exploration and management field. Community organizations, colleges, and public libraries also use Career Zone to introduce the principles of lifelong learning, career development, and budgeting to youth and job seekers. Additionally, a resource guide was developed to gather tools for youth, whether they're in school or out of school, and for job seekers to use along the path of their career development journey.
We can go back one. Well, this is where, okay, so right now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go through Career Zone with you guys.
Oh,
Yes, yeah.
I jumped the gun a little.
That's okay. Let me find my Career Zone. Sue, you just let me know if it's up.
It's up.
All right.
Perfect.
Even better. Just gotta give me 1 second because technology is not my thing today.
And the Career Zone link is in the chat in case
Yeah.
anyone wants to follow along on their own.
up my. Sue, can you see it?
Yes, it's perfect.
Awesome. Go down to. Right. So back into this. All right. So Career Zone offers several assessments. Well, let's just start here. This is our homepage. You can do this as a guest or you can log in. Um, for students that log in, that's just going to be able to save their information like the occupation details and resumes and cover letters and references. It has a whole list, but we're just going to use the guest tools today. So it offers several, where you can start as a guest is to do an assessment that Career Zone offers, which can help youth find occupations based on their interests and their work values. These assessments will then provide them with a list of occupations that align with their identified interests and values, which then support them in their construction of career goals. Also, if you haven't been in Career Zone in a while, it had a facelift, so it looks a lot better. It's more readable. It has accessibility. So I'm going to show you where to go. So first, you're going to go into Assess Yourself at the top in the tabs. So we're going to work on work values. So when students scroll over each of the six different areas in the graphic, they're going to see a description of each environment or career area. They can click on these 3 areas that best describe their interest around or their work values around work. So if you scroll over them, like achievement, we have independence, recognition, relationships, support, and working conditions. So I'll just choose my 3 values, which for me is independence, relationships, and support. So what this does here is it's going to add your 3 work value areas over to the left, and they've been identified and selected in the exercise. Career Zone will populate the first 3 letters of each work value on the page. Then they have a View Occupations button at the right bottom corner. We'll do that after I do the interest assessment, which they will bring you to different occupations, probably based on your interest and work values, but you can do it both with your student. So you can target your interest here, and if you scroll over each, again, as you see, once you scroll over each of the areas in the graphic, it's going to show you the description. So they have realistic. So if you're like athletic or mechanical, investigative, people who like to observe and learn, artistic, innovative or intuitive abilities, social, that like to help, train, and enlighten, enterprising, people who like to influence, perform, or persuade, and conventional. So if you're interested in jobs that involve working with data. So for myself, I like artistic. So see over on the left, it brings over the A, social, and this is always hard for me because I'm older now. We'll do enterprising. So then you go over and click on view occupations. Just going to my next slide. So here, students may scroll down to see several lists of occupations based on their interest and values identified during the assessment. The occupations are organized by 5 different job zones, starting with Job Zone 1, which requires the least amount of work experience, education, or training, to Job Zone 5, which requires the greatest amount of work experience, education, or training. Weak matches are indicated by 1 star, strong matches by 2, and the strongest by 3. Let me go into it. Hold on 1 second. Faces are in the way. All right. So if you see Job Zone 1 for artistic, social, and enterprising, I have no matches. For Job Zone 2, which is some previous work-related skills, are actors, childcare workers, nannies, or a host or hostess. And it also has 4 more matching occupations in this zone. Job zone 3, we have my strongest match would be a hairdresser or a hairstylist or a cosmetologist. And my least match is a patient representative. And as you can see next to the names, it has my targeted areas that I chose. So AES. Job zone 4, it looks like I have a very strong match in all of these, including an art director, an interior designer, a choreographer, a music director, broadcast announcer, or 27 more matching occupations. Job zone 5, I knew this was going to come up because it always does. Special education teacher, preschool, educational guidance or career counselor or advisor, communications teacher, post-secondary, art drama, architecture teacher, and 10 other. So before we get into this a little more, I just want to go back to the home screen with you. So here we're going to look at the home screen. There is a search button for searching for a career on the left under guest tools. But before we do that, I just wanted to show you that you can explore a career path on the right-hand side on this list. This is the landing page and it specifies a specific occupation or by clicking on one of the 6 career cluster icons on the right of the landing page. We have themes that include arts and humanities, business and information systems, engineering and technology, health services, natural and agricultural sciences, and human and public services. So if you click on one of these, it brings you to an occupation search with each one of the careers that are in that area. So if you want to do an occupation search, you're going to click on the search button and you can put in any occupation you'd like here. For my example, I'm just going to put in a physical therapist. I'm going to click on, so it's going to come up. It's a health science. It's a therapeutic service. It says you need more school, a graduate or advanced degree. And it tells you what your kind of your tasks will be. Assess, plan, organize, and participate in a rehab program that improves mobility, relieves pain, increases strength, and improve or correct disability conditions, conditions resulting from disease or injury. So we have a bright outlook here. It's an icon that the bright outlook will tell you if there is going to be careers in this field in the future. If it has a bright outlook, there's a good chance that there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you as a physical therapist. So they can select the application or the occupation like I did from the results page, and then they're going to be directed to a detailed occupation page when you click on it. So this is going to tell you, this is going to give you key information such as the starting salary, the preparation, and again, the New York growth in 5 years, how many jobs per year they're going to have. Currently, Career Zone offers over 800 positions featuring an occupational details page. At the top of each page, you'll find key information, like I said, from starting salary to the preparation, certifications, training, and education, as well as the growth rate. Immediately underneath this is an up-to-date descriptive video designed to offer insights into the profession, featuring a day in the life with expert interviews, workplace tours, skills and education overviews, career pathways, and job outlook and salary information. Immediately to the left of the video is another outstanding feature in the occupational details page. This quick navigation tool is a convenient menu that allows users to swiftly access various sections related to the selected occupation. This is presented as a sidebar leading to key information regarding the occupations as shown in the slide. The quick navigation tool ultimately helps the user navigate the page efficiently, providing quick jumps to specific content areas without needing to scroll through the entire page. So I'm going to give you a second, or I'm going to walk you through a couple of them just to show you what it looks like. So for the overview, it shows you the main areas of interest. and the main areas of work values. For a personal or for a physical therapist, we have a realistic, investigative, and social. And it actually gets very detailed into it, basically connecting it with a physical therapist. Then, as we scroll down, you're going to get the salary and job outlook. So, starting salary, median, and experienced. It's going to show you the New York State job market outlook, including jobs right now from 2018, new jobs every year, the growth rate, the projected increase, and the future of job growth by 2030. Then it's going to go into your preparation, experience, training, and education. The main one is going to come up on the top, meaning this one you need more school or a graduate and advanced degree. It's going to give you the experience requirements you're going to need, the education requirements, the training details, the transferable skills and experience. It also will go into school programs with you that are that match this occupation. Oh, and underneath each of the programs, you can search the college. Then it goes into the licensing and certification. New York State requires workers in this occupation to hold a license or certification. So when you go to learn more, it's going to bring you to another page that will give you more information on any licensing and certification, where to get it, who to contact. And then it tells you the skills you're going to need that are required for workers in this occupation. Main ones include reading comprehensive, active listening, speaking, critical thinking, writing, etc. Then we have knowledge. This list is going to include knowledge items, are the principles and facts required by this occupation. Then we have work environment, which is very important to some people. The list below includes the physical and social factors, including contact with others. You're going to have physical proximity with somebody. You're going to be indoors, face-to-face discussions, deal with external customers. You're going to be you're going to have a lot of decision making. You're going to work with a group or a team. Then it has your work styles. These are your work style characteristics that affect how well a worker is likely to perform in this occupation. The tools and technology you're going to need to know or use for workers in this occupation. The duties and the job are the job behaviors describing activities that occur. So maintaining therapy equipment, etc. Then you're going to have a list of tasks that outline what a worker in this occupation is called upon to do regularly. Then we have learning resources. For more information on the occupation, these can be found on different links. It will take you to external links. Related careers, if you're like, oh, I don't want to be a physical therapist, but I'll be an occupational therapist, or I'll be a nurse. And that is all for the occupational details page. Let's go. So now I want to take you into dollars and cents. This is a really great budgeting tool that it's just another interactive tool featured in Career Zone, which is designed to help students and job seekers understand the financial aspects of different careers. So what you're going to do is you're going to go back to the landing page and you're going to scroll down to dollars and cents. This is where the introduction comes in. You can have the youth or young adult complete this on their own, or you as a counselor or a teacher, you can help them with this to explain the details of each. So this is going to aim to promote financial literacy by helping the user make informed decisions about their career paths and the choices based on up-to-date salary data, up-to-date cost of living data, and other crucial economic factors. With this information, teachers, other educators, parents, guardians, or counselors can assist youth with developing a realistic sense of the financial resources they are going to need to become financially independent. In the budgeting module, youth will be asked to select one of the occupations they have liked and save it in their profile to determine how the salary compares to their potential living expenses. This interactive exercise helps apply the real life connection. So by saying that, when it connects to the occupation that they liked or saved, that's if they create a profile and it's they liked it in their own profile when they signed in. But for this, we're just going to do a guess tool. So I'm going to have Sue be my youth for this.
I'm going to
So
channel my youth.
yeah, we're going to channel her youth.
Okay.
So we're going to plan a budget with you to help you get to where you want to go financially. In the next few screens, I'm going to ask you questions about the cost of various lifestyle options. And this is going to help you determine the amount of money you're going to need to support the lifestyle that you want, Sue.
Okay.
So I'm going to add a new budget. So, Sue, we're going to select a county where you would like to live.
I would like,
Yep, go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm just
No.
so excited to start this.
Yes.
I would like to live in Albany County.
All right. Do you have a specific zip code, Sue? And if you don't, we can do a search. Or if you have maybe just a name like Latham or Albany, you can let me know.
Okay. Well, let's just do
Yep.
Latham.
What's the zip code?
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me the zip code.
No, I would search it if it was with a youth, but Sue's going to tell me the zip code.
Well, okay. It's 12110.
Okay. So now we're going to go to next. All right, Sue. There are many options when it comes to places to live. Will you have no housing cost, which essentially means you're going to live at home, 1-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, 3-bedroom, or would you like to own a home or a mortgage? Have a mortgage.
I think I'd like to own a home.
All right. So once you click own a home, your monthly cost is going to show up in the box below. Again, this is another option. If you know how much you want to spend on an item, you can type the amount directly in the box. So if Sue knows that she's looking for a home in Latham that's going to cost her $2,100 a month, she can change it. So then we click next. All right, Sue, rent and mortgage is only part of the picture. We have power, we have water, we have telephone. There's going to be many expenses that go along with having a place. Let's calculate approximately how much these will cost you. So for heat, electric, and water, are you going to only use a little bit? Like, are you never going to be home a lot? Are you going to use it average or high, like you're always home?
Going to do average. I
Great.
don't think I can be frugal.
Okay. Then we have internet. Do you want the internet? Do you want standard internet? Or do you want high-speed internet?
I have to
Like if you're
do
a
high
gamer.
speed. Yeah, I'm a gamer.
If you work from home, if you're a gamer, if you're into streaming, we're going to need that. So what about a mobile phone? Are you going to pay for minutes? Do you want like a basic plan, like a $40 a month phone, a mobile phone, which is a tiered data plan, having a tiered data plan, or a mobile phone with a data plan with unlimited data?
I think I'm going to need unlimited data.
Okay. And then we have garbage, waste, and recycling. Now, the only reason that garbage, waste, and recycling does not have options is because we have done a deep dive in Career Zone for information on all of these utilities based on Latham. We have looked into what garbage pickup costs in Latham, and they are all incorporated in Career Zone. So after clicking all of these, it shows that your monthly cost for utilities is going to be $404. Then we're going to go to next. All right, Sue, whether you're buying groceries or eating out, food is going to cost money. How much do you need each month to eat? Are you going to be on a very low cost plan, a low cost plan, a moderate cost plan, and a high cost plan? Now, sometimes you're going to have to explain to the youth what the difference is between very low, low, and moderate.
I'm going to have to say moderate
Okay.
if it includes eating out and
Mhm.
groceries.
Perfect. So that's probably around $375 a month. Then we're going to go into entertainment. You're going to want to go to the movies, listen to music and concerts, and go and get books. A lot of entertainment costs money. How often you go out is going to affect how much you spend. What do you need to keep yourself entertained? So we're going to start with TV services and cable. Do you not want TV services in your home? No cable? Are you going to have standard cable with and or limited streaming services, multiple streaming services, or cable with streaming services?
I think I'm going to do multiple streaming services and forget the cable.
Great. So for eating out, are you going to stay in? Are you going to eat out or go out and entertain yourself once a week? Do the same 2 to 3 times a week, or just entertain more often?
Let's say once a week.
Awesome. So that brings it to $188. Oh, now we come to transportation. Are you going to walk or bike to school? Use a bus or a train? Are you going to finance a used car or a new car?
I've picked a location that you really can't walk or bike,
Mhm.
and mass transit is also a little difficult. So I'm going to say a new car.
Okay. Then we're going to go into healthcare. Again, this might be something you're going to need to get into detail with your youth and explain the differences. So for healthcare, are you going to have no insurance? Do you want a single plan, ACA essential plan, a healthy New York individual plan, a healthy New York family plan?
Let's do the individual plan.
Okay. And then dental, yes or dental, no?
Yes, dental, yes.
So that brings your monthly cost up to $859 for that. Not up to, this is your monthly cost for healthcare. Now we're going to go into personal care and miscellaneous expenses. This includes golfing, bowling, getting your hair done, working out. So are you going to do none to little, some, average, or many?
I think I'm acting not like my youthful self, so I'm going to switch that up and say many.
Okay.
The sky's the limit.
Yep. How much do you want to save? Are you going to not plan for your future? Do you want to save a little bit, moderate, or very high?
Let's say moderate.
So now when you click next, it is going to tell you based on your options you selected, Sue, you are going to need to take home $5,431.80 a month, which works out to be $65,181.60 a year. So when you click next, it's going to take you to an occupations tab to view careers that fit into your desired lifestyle.
It feels like a
Matching your
game
occupation.
show to me.
It's fun
I'm
though.
enjoying this.
This is
I
my
know.
favorite part. So to make $65,000 a year, Sue, you are going to have some experience, some skills, some knowledge. So we have no occupations that match you for job zone 1. Starting at job zone 2, we're going to have postmasters, power line installers and repairers, and then also it's going to have 6 other occupations in this zone. Job zone 3 is that you have previous work related skills. So you're going to have you can be an administrative service manager, gambling manager, and 27 other occupations. Job zone 4, you need a considerable amount, advertising and promotions, fundraising manager or sales manager, also 74 matching. And job zone 5 is the extensive skill, a chief executive, an investment fund manager, an education administrator for post-secondary or kindergarten, and 75 other. So Sue, how much knowledge and experience do you have that you'd like to connect to one of these jobs?
I think advertising and promotion managers in job zone 4.
Okay,
I
so
think that's
there are 2 different options you can pick. When you click on select, this is going to bring you to just a summary page. Sue, you froze. Your annual summary for advertising and promotions manager is $73,600. So your budget total was $65,000. So based on the option you selected, you're going to have enough income for your chosen occupation. Now, if we go back to previous, oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Sorry, guys. It's going to match my occupations again. So based on what Sue chose, there was 2 options. The first one was select. And the next one is, did she say advertising? Yes.
Yeah.
So then instead of pressing select, you can actually press on the job, and it will again bring you to the occupation details page, which will then go through everything you're going to need, like the salary, the degree, the job growth, including all the other work styles, knowledge, programs on the side. So let's see. Give me 1 second so I can see. 4:15. All right, I have a couple more minutes, which is perfect because I did want to go over with you something, a really valuable resource for teachers and counselors. This is, and I'm not sure if you've seen it. I know a lot of you are familiar with Career Zone, but we have a resources page here where you can type in the resource type. They have a student resources here, which will give you like what is Career Zone, how to get a FAFSA application, job search, handbooks and opportunities and websites. But what I want to show you is you can either click on teachers, counselors, or instructional tools. In this, it's going to talk to you about all these different titles and job descriptions, including what a CDOS commencement credential is, how to get youth ready for work. But what I want to go into now is the Career Zone lesson plans. Oh, can you see the Adobe?
Yes.
Or you, okay, perfect. So I don't know why it takes you to page 117, which is hilarious to me. So the Career Zone lesson plans, it's an online resource which is made for educators by educators to implement career development and Career Zone into New York State classrooms and any youth programs. You're going to find more than 50 innovative and in-depth lessons that align with next generation learning standards. That's going to integrate technology. It's going to engage students through hands-on activities, and in every lesson, it's going to connect to Career Zone in some way. I'm very proud to say that I went through all 50 lesson plans when I started with the Department of Labor, and I updated every lesson plan to next gen learning standards and CDOS. So you can be an educator, a counselor, you can even be a parent. These lesson plans are going to serve as a valuable tool to support and guide students in their career exploration journey. Each lesson plan has been carefully crafted to provide engaging and interactive learning experiences for students of all backgrounds and interests. So we have companion materials here, which include the Career Zone fact sheet and the Career Zone Facilitators Guide. The Career Zone Facilitators Guide, it's designed to help educators navigate, implement, and facilitate Career Zone effectively into their classroom and program. So kind of what Sue and I are doing with Career Zone walkthrough right now, it's going to do it for you in a 200-page document with screenshots of each page of Career Zone. It is integrating NYS Next Gen Learning Standards. So it contains all the standards to ensure that each lesson leads to students to college and career readiness and measures their abilities to achieve competency in reading, writing, speaking, listening, and language. So we have lesson plan topics. So below is a list of Career Zone lesson plans, which are the topics in blue, with the descriptions providing a brief overview of the topic. You can also assess yourself, which is going to facilitate engaging career assessments. So that'll probably take you into the Career Zone assess yourself part tools. Then we have career awareness. So it's going to talk about basic career awareness concepts, like exploring different industries and job sectors. Then we have financial literacy, like the budgeting tool, but it's going to have like very detailed lesson plans on other financial literacy applications. Then job search, engage students in how to job search, like making a resume and a cover letter, an interview preparation. And then digital literacy, which is becoming really, really big right now. Developing their their digital literacy skills to protect their online identity, privacy, and security. So down here in the table of contents, it's going to tell you the title. Oh, so under each topic, it's going to like assess yourself. It's going to tell you each title lesson plan in that title, in that topic, the grades, what CDOS standards are connecting to that lesson, and what next gen standards are connecting to that lesson. So for us, I would like to get into financial literacy, just because we were just walking through dollars and cents, and that's my favorite. So if you click on one of these lesson plan titles, it will take you right to the lesson. So let's take a vacation. So you can print this, you can write your teacher name. It's going to tell you exactly how many minutes it's going to take, how many class periods, how many days, the grade level, and where you're going to implement it into your subject or course throughout the day. It's going to give you the resources needed and the learning standards that are connected. It's going to give you the big idea and the authentic purpose. So like, why is it going to matter to your students and how it's going to be helpful to them and how it connects to their lives. The career content included and the experts. So you can find someone who can connect with you in order to bring an outside voice to this. Then we have what's the objective and the assessments you're going to use to make sure they've gained the knowledge. So knowledge construction, we're going to talk about what is prior to the lesson, what you need to do, the introduction, the middle of the lesson, which usually always starts with exploring career zone in the middle of the lesson, and the activity. Then we have the end of the lesson. Also, with each one of these most of the lesson plans, you're going to be able to get the resources needed for the lesson. So we have a vacation budget worksheet. So you can work with the students on what is it going to cost for transportation, airfare. Oh, I actually see a little error right there, but we can fix that. Airfare, parking, very detailed information on what a vacation is going to consist of. What insurance are you going to need? Lodging. I might use this for my vacation. Things to get here, right? Let's see. Things to get there, food and drink, and the total. You're going to have museums, amusement, because if you're going to Disney World, oh my gosh, that'll probably be your whole budget. And then we have miscellaneous, and then we have a summary calculation. So what's your budget? What's it actually going to cost, and what's the difference? Then it takes you into more lesson plans on financial literacy until you get to the next topic. So we still have about 10 minutes. Taylor can definitely start early if she'd like, but if you have a question for me right now, I know save it till the end, but I can answer maybe one or two right now if you have any.
I do see a hands up, and I'm not sure if it's left over from the beginning. So if someone, I'm not sure if we went over your question or not.
Carol.
I'm sorry, that was left over from the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Sorry.
no problem. Hope we answered it for you. Okay. So Taylor, if Sue, you want to start, or no, you're not sharing. Taylor, if you would like to hop in, if you're ready.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
And I am happy to be joined today by Kathy Millett, ICM Controls, and Edgar Johnson at Upstate as well. So I think first, I just want to make sure I know I saw them both on the call. So I'll have them introduce themselves in just a moment. But first, I know many of you, I know I've met many of you, but a little bit about MACNY. So I'm Taylor Hodge, Director of Partners for Education Business. Several of my team members were on today too, Mohammed, Emily, and Amy. But we're representing MACNY, the Manufacturers Association. We're a trade association at our core. So over 300 businesses that we represent and counting, majority of which are industrials. Meaning, manufacturing. But within MACNY, at the end of the day, we exist to serve our members. And one of the core areas we do that is talent development, right? Talent is identified as a major need. So within that, we have a three-pronged approach here at MACNY, career awareness, pre-apprenticeship, and registered apprenticeship. Our team that's on the call today, though, we're focused on the career awareness space, and that is where we've been longtime partners with the Syracuse City School District. And more specifically, we're facilitating employer engagement in work-based learning activities. So anything from small interpersonal group activities in the classroom to site visits to job shadowing to paid internship experiences. And with the ultimate goal that if students want to go directly into work upon high school graduation, that they're equipped to do so. And specifically the programs that we've really been integrated closely with our the pre-apprenticeship manufacturing technology program at Corcoran, the engineering technology programs at ITC, the health professions pathways at Henniger, and the drone tech and cybersecurity pathways at PSLA. So again, really happy to be here today. Again, we just so value this partnership, and again, even happier to be able to be joined by our colleagues, Kathy Millett over at ICM Controls and Edgar Johnson. So I think, first off, I just want to give the floor to our employer partners so Kathy, I see you, so I'll kick it to you first. If you can just introduce yourself, your role, and how you've been involved with the Syracuse City School District, to date.
Sure. Hi, Taylor. Thank you. Kathy Millett, Senior HR Manager at ICM Controls. I have worked with PTech and MACNY for quite a few years now across a few different companies that I've been with. I've worked in going into the schools and doing career coaching. I've hosted tours. I've done resume building with the kids. And I've also hired summer interns as well from the program.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy, and thank you again for being here today. Edgar, thanks again for being able to join. If you could do the same, just introduce yourself, your role, and how you've been involved with the Syracuse City School District.
Yes, my name is Edgar Johnson, and I am the Community Employment Lead here at Upstate. This is my second stint with Upstate. I was here back in the 2000s doing similar work. And I would get involved with the Syracuse City School District through other programs such as Hillside, Synergy Mercy Works internship program, and then also On Point for College. And so that's how my involvement has been with the district. Back in the 2000, I managed those programs here on behalf of Upstate in terms of identifying internships for the students. And now that is being managed through our Office of Diversity and Inclusion. They manage the On Point for College program. And I still get involved with the career fairs put on by the Syracuse City School District. I just came back from Nottingham. They had one this morning, going over to Corcoran on a Friday morning. And that's my involvement. Mm-hmm.
Great. Thanks again for being here, Edgar.
Yes.
So really what, I've asked Kathy and Edgar to join today just to kind of back into some of what New York State Department of Labor was here to share today, but just kind of, giving everyone on the call kind of that real feel of like how the experience has been for employers in terms of, not only, facilitating or engaging students from the Syracuse City School District from the PTech and CTE pathways in, work-based learning experiences, so job shadows, internships, and of course, employment. So with that, I just have a few questions for Kathy and Edgar. So I'll send this one to Kathy first. Kathy, are you able to speak to your experience working with or in hiring minors?
Yeah, I can say it was a very easy process. The biggest thing, obviously, is making sure that we're following all the rules. There's lots of postings that need to go up within your facility, and just ensuring that the students are doing what they're supposed to do and they're not working in areas that they're not supposed to work in. I will say, at my last role in my last job, we did hire 3 PTech students for the summer. It was our first time ever doing summer students. They were fantastic. All of our assembly, it was just basic hand assembly. Everybody that was currently there kind of welcomed them with open arms and made sure that they helped them, they encouraged them, they showed them things. It was a really awesome experience for all of them and for the company itself.
Great, thank you, Kathy. Edgar, are you able to, do the same, from your role at Upstate as far as experience working with or hiring minors?
Yes. So, one program that I forgot to mention that's really huge here is the Project Search program. I was heavily involved with getting that program off the ground back in the 2000s, and it's still going on here where we take on high school seniors with disabilities, and then they spend a half day here classroom and doing classroom work, and then they spend another half day out on a department site, out on a work site. And that program has been here since 2008. Christine Gutsky actually leads that, and so she's my partner. I'm the business liaison for that program. And we have hired students from those programs. Some of the students didn't work out because there was something else going on in their life or whatever, but the ones that have stayed have been excellent. One student, a project search student, she is so impressive. She came in an entry level role, and she has risen up. I think like three levels, and she's been here for years now. She is doing well. Regarding the other programs, we have hired students from the Mercy Works program. Recently, a student who was part of the first class that we hosted here through the Mercy Works Synergy program, he applied for a very high level IT position and he got it. And so, that's an example of the quality that comes through these programs connected to the Syracuse City School District. I would say that my experience with those students have been great. The last interaction I had with was this morning, and the students are very prepared. And I want to applaud the Syracuse City School District. You guys are doing a phenomenal job in getting these students prepared. Even this morning over at Nottingham, all of them very engaging. They know what they want to do. They have done their research in terms of their career. But particularly a couple of weeks ago at the CTE job fair, when we were part of the networking event, so four of my colleagues came to be a part of that speed networking event, and they were floored by how those students, how they came through and were able to talk about what they want to do in life. They had it all mapped out, and actually at some points we were learning things from them. Very impressive. And again, I want to applaud the Syracuse City School District. I'm an alum of the district. And today, the students are just phenomenal, and that has to do with the staff over the district. So for us, we cannot hire anyone under 18. They can internship here with us, and but they have to be 18 years before they can get full employment.
Thank you, Edgar.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree. I know many of us were at the career fair, and what a wonderful, turnout by the students. And I know so many of, both you, Edgar and Kathy, I know participated in speed networking. So thanks again for that. Edgar, I'll start back with you this time. What would make a student stand out as job ready to you?
What would make a student stand out as job? Really understanding the role and how that come about is the type of questions they ask during the interview. So a lot of people come and they interview for jobs and don't even really understand the role. Did you really read that job description? And we can tell by the type of questions you ask. And and that's across the board, really understanding the role. I think the presentation, how they present themselves is good. But one thing that I want to tap into, and I don't know if people are aware of this, but there are things in organizations that people don't know about that they should know about ahead. Some groups, some people, it's baked into their culture or whatever, but that is the hidden rules. What are the hidden rules? And so I started researching, and there is a lot of research out there in terms of when you're joining an organization, understanding those hidden rules. And if you're not understanding those hidden rules, can result in you getting terminated because you don't really understand the lay of the land. So they even have research around organizations that are complex and large like us out there, and going into entry-level roles. One of the most important things is being reliable, really being reliable, and then trying to understand some of the hidden rules. Like, for example, one hidden rule could be who really possessed the power. And there could be an administrative assistant that could have a lot of power, and that's the person that you may want to tap into to things versus the director. So it's really understanding. And understanding that. You know, even though, and so in our culture, a lot of time, so we're huge. And so if you want your work to be known, you have to really speak up about it. So if not, you may get glossed over. So it's being able to speak about and letting people know about what you do in your job, because it could get lost if not, because we're so huge and we're working in teams. And those are just some of the things that I learned. And then two, here we're complex in that we're a medical school and a health profession college. But then there's the workforce side. Well, on the academic side, they have a very different culture. Their culture tend to be very hierarchical. It's the dean and then everyone else. Where on the workforce side, it's not like that. It's very more flat a little bit, and where employees, we are we have more flexibility with our managers and supervisors than so on the academic side. So it's really understanding the culture of the organization. And I did not realize, not knowing these things again, can not understanding these things or being aware of them, you know, can lead to termination if you're not able to build that into how you interact with people at work. And there's a lot of research out there. And that's something that I would hope that people start talking about more with the youth, and especially youth coming from communities of color, because those are things that I find that tend to get us trapped because we don't understand those hidden rules. And so being able to be aware of them can be beneficial.
Thank you so much, Edgar.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy, is there anything you want to add to, like, what would make a student stand out as job ready for you?
Yeah, I want to second a lot of what Edgar says. And I actually want to say, I think it's very interesting to hear things from that side, because being in staffing and manufacturing for 15 years, it's a very different experience than being in the field that Edgar's in. So this is new to me and it's very interesting. So thank you for that. But
Yes.
one of the biggest thing is reliability. Especially like with us, with manufacturing, you don't really need to know much. You just need to be able to show up, be there on time, and give 110%. There's so much room for growth within manufacturing. It's something I spew to the students every time I talk with them. Assembly manufacturing, it's not just about putting pieces together. You come in, I've seen people work their way from assembly all the way up to the VPs of global ops, and things like that. So just knowing the company, not as much the position, because the positions are very different in manufacturing, but taking the time to research the company. So when you're coming into an interview and I say, hey, what do you know about us? You don't go, and there's nothing. Even if it's something small you saw on the website, but know what we're doing. And that's one of the biggest things. But I have to keep repeating that reliability piece of it, because that's, you can come in and you can try your hardest, and if you're there every single day, we're going to make it work.
Right. And then to also building trust with the supervisor. Building trust with your supervisor, having a relationship with your supervisor. Because I've seen a lot of times, and I have colleagues who manage a lot of entry-level people, and what gets them in trouble is they're not communicating with the supervisor. So they're missing work, and maybe they're ashamed of sharing what's going on in their home. Maybe there's a child on drugs or something, and they're missing work because they're trying to take care of an issue at home, but they're not communicating that with the supervisor. So then what happens? They lose their job. So establishing a relationship with the supervisor and establishing a trusting relationship with the supervisor. And one way of doing that is being reliable.
Yeah. I have to agree with that. Definitely.
Yes. There was something else I was going to mention, but it'll come back to mind.
Thank you. No, those are great. Thank you for sharing. I guess kind of on that token, are there any specific, right? We hear reliability, that's such a theme, like across the board, and some of that like grit or resilience, but are there any specific certifications or trainings or experiences that you like to see or wish students maybe had prior to applying?
So I can speak for me on this one. Not really, especially because a lot of it's entry level manufacturing. If we're looking at some of our higher level roles, some sort of electrical experience is helpful because I mean, specifically what I do is we make control boards for your furnaces. So having some sort of that ability, and I know coming from my last role with another company, being able to read a blueprint, walking into any sort of a manufacturing facility, it's going to put you at another level if you can read a blueprint.
Thank you, Kathy. Edgar, anything on your end?
Not really, because our jobs, but like for example, nursing, you have to have certifications. So our jobs are really clear on what you need to have. But I will say one thing: if you are thinking about, people are thinking about coming to upstate, what will help speed up the process is having your health information all completed, having your physical done within a year, because that tends to slow down the process. So when we ask for their health information and it hasn't been done in a year, then we have to wait till they go and get their physical and get all their shots. So anytime anyone is applying to upstate, if they can have their health information ready within 1 year, that would be helpful.
Thank you for that. What roles can schools play in supporting youth employment?
I think they're doing a fantastic job
I
right
do
now.
too.
I know I met Erica a couple of weeks ago at the school. I helped the students write their resumes. They were so open to the feedback, and they even let me put some of their resumes up on the screen and I don't want to say rip them apart, but move them around and help them understand kind of the flow and what they should be seeing and what employers are gonna, pinpoint on. I don't know if the schools can do more than they're doing just with
Right.
their community engagement and involvement and getting the kids out there. I've been watching kids from ninth grade who are now seniors doing different tasks, and now they're getting ready to graduate. And I think the schools have done an incredible job getting them
Yes.
career ready.
Exactly. And here at Upstate, I'm sorry,
Sorry.
we have actually
Hi,
started working with ITC High School, and that we created a academic year-round internship program for students interested in trades. So they spend time here. I think it's like 9 hours a week, but they go through 6 areas in the trades like painting, electrical, electronics, all that. And then hopefully our hope is like if they're seniors, that they will apply to our jobs and get hired by us in those entry-level roles. And that's a partnership with ITC High School. And we just launched it in February.
So I wanted to, so this is Erica. I wanted to piggyback off of what Edgar was saying and Kathy. I think it's important to know also that a lot of our students get OSHA certified, and that is another thing that they don't have to do when they get to their internships or even their jobs. And different programs certified for, I mean, have different certifications. And then the program that Edgar is talking about, I think it was important, as he mentioned, having physicals and working with Syracuse City School District. As you know, there are a lot of obstacles, and so I think being advocates for the kids and finding ways to support them. We had a student who was a unaccompanied minor and had the hardest time getting it physical. I mean, we figured it out, but those are the kind of things that we need to find more streamlined ways to figure out for our students. Yeah.
Yep.
And then really my last question, I know you can obviously tell we brought two of our like all-time like rock star career coaches to this call today, and thank you both. I mean, you're just always so willing to like jump in and I mean be here today and to be in the classroom or to open your doors to students. So again, we all appreciate that, and it obviously, you know, it pays dividends as we've seen. I know I've been in this role long enough to see like the full circle effect, which is really, really cool. You know, I'm thinking about the career fair the other week, and you know, there's students who are behind the table now who were P-Tech students, and you know, that really how cool that is for current students and how that must resonate. So we want to see more of that. But just on, you know, as we wrap up today, is there anything else you'd like to add, or anything maybe I didn't ask that you'd like to add to the conversation today?
I think the only thing I would add is tell me how we can get more employers involved. Because I feel like the more employers that we can have involved, the better it is for these students. If there's anything we can do to help facilitate that.
Good point, Kathy. I would love to help with that too. Would love to help with that.
I think a couple of things on that is like, yes, absolutely. And I, you know, it's something we continue to think about is like, you know, one thing we're talking a lot about, and I know, you know, Quindell, I'm looking at you, I'm thinking of the Blue Ribbon Task Force meeting the other day, right? It's like that storytelling. We need to continue like, right, like data is important. We want to make sure we have the numbers, but we need to tell the stories, and we need to find I think even who are some of the Syracuse City School District alum who are working in companies who maybe came back from, you know, college, the military, or wherever they might have gone. Now they're back in the community. How do we find them? But even within your own organizations, right? And I know, Edgar, we have so many people from upstate who engage, and it's wonderful, but continuing that too of like, who else, like getting even individuals from other companies, like bring a friend, you know, bring a colleague essentially, or, you know, who else from your company. And you both have been, you know, so engaged for so long now, and you really know what it entails. And there isn't necessarily this like, you know, sometimes people see like career coach and they're like, it's not me, but it's like, no, it's really, you're meeting students where they're at, and you're being someone who, you know, just a familiar face that they can begin to trust, you know, month after month. So yes, I mean, absolutely, to more employers. So I think making sure that we tell your stories of like what it means to you to be involved, that's going to help, I think, all of us collectively, you know, bring more individuals into the classroom.
Yes. Agree.
Any questions for Kathy or Edgar today? Well, thank you both again for joining. And again, we really appreciate you including us in today's discussion.
Okay, thank you. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, Sue is going to share for Erin. Erin can introduce herself. Thank you, Erin.
Hi, everybody. My name is Erin Derouville. I am the project coordinator of the Teacher Ambassador Program for the New York State Department of Labor. I am relatively new to the Department of Labor. I started about 2.5 years ago, and I was a middle school teacher and instructional coach prior to that, and was really excited about the mission of this program and how it aligns with the Blue Ribbon Commission, graduation measures, portrait of a graduate, etc. So we're going to just kind of talk about the program a little bit, what we do, what we're striving for, what kind of teachers we're looking for, with the idea that maybe one of you would be interested. I see Magdalene in the audience. She's already gone through it. Nice to see you. So if you've already gone through it like Magdalene, or you can't give up a month of your summer, then we definitely want you to spread the word. And also, we're going to talk about ways that you can interact with us even without going through the program. So we can go ahead and go on to the next slide. So the Teacher Ambassador Program, we are a month-long professional development for educators. It takes place every July. This will be our 4th cohort this July. It runs from July 6th through the July 31st, and it is a full-time paid job with the Department of Labor. The goal is to strengthen the connection between education and workforce development. It came out of the Blue Ribbon Commission, actually. Our Deputy Commissioner of Workforce Development at the time was a part of the Blue Ribbon Commission, and he left and he said, you know, the Department of Labor has a lot of the resources that could support educators in making sure that they have resources, somebody to call, contacts in order to make this shift easier for them to more career readiness and career integration into what they're already doing. So we do this through direct engagement with employers, labor market data, regional economic strategies, and the educators gain some real world insight into what are the skills and the pathways that drive our state's economy. The goal is that they bring that knowledge back to their classrooms. They can incorporate it any way that they see fit to empower students to explore some high growth careers, develop workforce ready competencies, and envision a clear path from learning to earning. In the beginning of the program, I think that the mindset really was around trying to target those students who didn't have a clear idea of what they wanted to do. And they definitely were not interested in going to college. We see that group of students increasing now, and so we want to make sure that they have some guidance as to what they can do as far as a career pathway. But also we've kind of grown as well. So we are also aware that many people go to school or go to a to get a 4-year degree, and they need guidance about what sort of majors will lead to actual jobs after they graduate. So we want to make sure we're arming our educators, librarians, counselors, etc., with information about what the labor market will look like to our best ability in 5 to 10 years. We can go on to the next slide. So the time is now for the program. We kind of land at this intersection of everything that's happening in the labor market and with our students and with education as a whole. So in our workforce, we see that there is a rapid industry transformation. There, due to AI, due to the second bullet, which is an aging workforce and retirement cliff, and due to the fact that we continue to see persistent skills gaps in technical fields. New York State Department of Labor puts out business surveys and job seeker surveys annually. We take a look at the feedback that we get, and we're continuing to see gaps in very technical areas. Also, we continue to see gaps in, how was it phrased today? We say soft skills, some people say workforce skills, some people say, power skills, I think is what I heard today. So that is our workforce reality. Things are changing really quickly. In the education world, things never change as quickly, by the way, in education as they change in the industry. But in education in New York State, we are undergoing a change. So we did have the adoption of the Portrait of a Graduate. We also are seeing the rollout of the New York State graduation measures, and we see more of a shift to career-connected learning focus. And that shift we promote needs to take place in every hallway in the school, not just the CTE hallway. So the Teacher Ambassador Program really strives to not only focus on our CTE educators, but also our middle school educators and our English, math, librarians, school counselors, etc. So we also see a shift in our student and societal reality. So our students are wanting to know why their learning is relevant, how they're going to use it. We also have students who are questioning the college for all model. The financial reality of college is a real concern, and especially when students aren't necessarily seeing that it can lead to that well-paying job. So their students are starting to explore different alternative career pathways, and we need to make sure that we are meeting them where they're at. Can we go on to the next slide, please? So the context. Roughly 52% of U.S. students who start a four-year degree finish within 6 years. That means that nearly half of the students who begin the traditional pathway do not complete it. So what do? We've been operating a system that assumes that most students would complete college. And the reality is about half of them are not. So do they have the necessary education to transition into a good career pathway? Next slide. And approximately 52 to 55% of those jobs in the US require more than a high school diploma, but less than a four-year degree. And yet only about 43% of the workers are trained at that level. We're talking about advanced manufacturing technicians, electricians, radiology technicians, cybersecurity analysts. The list could go on and on. These are really skill-based jobs that aren't taught in a traditional, or they're taught outside of a traditional four-year degree program. Next slide. So our program kind of goes from immersion to impact. When our educators are with us for the 4 weeks, they gain exposure to high demand industry information. We help support them through looking at our labor market data, the data that we house on our public facing websites. Also, they learn the nuts and bolts of registered apprenticeship, where they can find sponsor information, what it can look like, who supports with the sponsors, etc. And we also learn employer and HR perspectives. After the immersion, we get into the integration. So throughout the trip, or throughout the 4 weeks, we go on roughly 203 industry site visits throughout the state. Our educators are placed in career centers. So our career center in Syracuse is on James Street. So they would work out of the career center on James Street and then go on roughly 4 to 5 visits out of that office per week. They also connect with local workforce boards, the local and regional chambers of commerce, and the New York State Department of Labor staff, the employment counselors, business services team, registered apprenticeship staff. Anybody who they hear training from, they get contact information for, so they can contact them to come on into their schools or present virtually. And then we want to see that classroom impact. So the educators then apply and sustain learning by designing and sharing career-connected lessons or projects and embedding career awareness into classroom instructions. So they design a final project, they take that final project back to the school and use it. We also have it on our website in our digital career readiness library. We've seen as we have been moving into the 4th year here, we've started to look at the impact that it's had in the Department of Labor. And we measure the impact through how many touch points we have with schools. And they've more than tripled. So our staff is really busy right now, answering the demand of our teachers and our schools in the best way possible, helping to coordinate with career fairs, going in and doing presentations, meeting with administration to help support programming, etc. Next slide. This is our profile of an ambassador. So last year, our ambassadors came from 38 unique school districts. Sometimes we have multiple teachers from one school district at one career center. So we had 38 unique school districts, 7 BOCES programs, and 1 charter school district represented. We had a total of 60 educators. 60 is our cap for the summer. Just that's what we can handle for a summer. In that cohort, we had general education teachers from 6th through 12th grade, counselors, business CTE teachers, special education, work-based learning, coordinators, other CTE teachers, technology coordinators for the district, the fax teachers, library media specialists, administration, etc. We do a benchmark survey at the beginning of the program, 81% of them had never reached out to the Department of Labor for support. 71% had never used Department of Labor online resources. And 72% did not have the ability to talk confidently about what registered apprenticeship is. Next slide. And our results have been continuously surprising in a really, positive way. So in my first year in 2024 to come on to coordinate the program, we had reached through our educators over 10,000 New York State students. Last year is over 14,000 New York State students. We ask our teachers the daily touch points they have with students, and then we calculate that. We've had, like I said, 203 industry site visits statewide, typically around 20 for each location that we serve, and over 42 industry partners participating in virtual roundtables. We do statewide virtual roundtables for in-demand industries in New York State, and we had about 42 high-level industry partners participating in those last year. So the change is immense. So before engaging in the teacher ambassador program, 29% had engaged DOL as a resource, and after we've had 90% of those same teachers engaged this year, with 45% of them engaging more than 3 times. So they've been setting up workshops where staff can go in and present. I've presented at numerous schools. We've had several events and career fairs, lunch and learns, et cetera, in which the DOL has supported the schools. We're continuing to add on to what we're trying to provide. Not everybody can give up a month of their summer, and we have a lot of people interested who are 11-month and 12-month employees and cannot do the program. And so we're looking at different ways of managing that and providing opportunities throughout the school year in smaller bite-sized pieces. We're also increasing our engagement with school planning and training. We're helping to, we're open to pretty much do anything with schools, and we're working alongside state ed in their CTE program directors to help with creating of quality CTE programs as well. And we are definitely striving to develop more resources with schools in mind. Department of Labor has an immense amount of data, and we're looking to try to create opportunities to use that data to land itself into the school so that they can use it as well without a major lift for the teachers. One of the most persistent skills that keep popping up on our business surveys is that we are seeing a big gap in data analysis in our schools, and that's what our businesses keep saying. And so we have a lot of data, and it's relevant data to the lives of our students. So we're going to try to, flip those, turn those into lesson plans that our schools can use and roll out to our students to try to help fill that gap. If you haven't looked at our labor market briefings on the Department of Labor website, I highly recommend it. They're like a gold mine for a teacher. Next slide. So this is a day in the life of our teacher ambassadors. Magdalene, this is you. By the way, if you look in really closely, you'll see Magdalene, who's in the audience there next to the IBEW sign. So day in the life, 8:30, roughly 8:30, you report to the Career Center. I say roughly because every Career Center might start at different times. Some start at 8, 8:30, or 9, depending on the location. So you might check email, talk to staff, revise notes from a site visit. Every participant gets access to Coursera, where you can do any sort of certification that you want, whether it's upskilling in AI, learning more about career readiness, program management, etc. Then from 9 to 10, we would have a virtual training. An example would be Registered Apprenticeship 101. After that, you could have a break. Then another virtual panel. We always do one every year on the statewide building trades panel, where we have representatives from the New York State building trades come in and talk about where they see, what's happening statewide, where they see industry going, what they're looking for, and different pathways to the building trades. We also do panels on advanced manufacturing, healthcare. This year we'll do one on education, because education, if you didn't know, is a huge in-demand industry. So we'll be doing one on education this year, human services. I'm sure I'm leaving people off the list, but we make sure we're focusing on those in-demand industries. Then there would be time in the schedule to collaborate on final project, lesson plan project, presentation, lunch on your own, and then the afternoon might be filled with a site visit. I saw, was it Upstate Medical on here? Last year we did go to Upstate Medical as one of our site visits. As you can see in the picture, the IBEW, which is the electricians training facility, we try to hit a few registered apprenticeship sites in each region. So that was one of them. And the site visits typically last about 2 hours. We include travel time into our schedule so that, the day ends roughly at the same time every single day. Next slide. So even if you can't participate in our teacher ambassador program, we highly encourage our educators to start exploring the services of their local career centers, to reach out and introduce themselves and try to make sure that they are aware of what we can do for you, right? So at our local career centers, we have employment counselors, we have a business services team, there's VR headsets, people can come in to the schools with the VR headsets, train you how to use them. You can borrow the headsets from the DOL to use with your students. They have an unbelievable amount of modules on them to explore different careers. We also have on staff a huge team of labor market analysts. We have labor standards, labor laws, et cetera, future of work, registered apprenticeship. We have our youth team. We have, there's a lot of different services that we can provide. Step one is just reaching out. You can reach out to me, and I can connect you. You can just reach out to your local career center and speak to the career center manager. Next slide. So again, you're welcome to join us for 2026. We still have 1 week left of our application window. It closes next Wednesday. The application window closes next Wednesday. This year's program, again, goes from July 6th to July 31st. The hours are 8:30 to 4:30. Educators get paid $34 an hour and can earn up to 150 CTLE credits. And it takes place at the local Department of Labor Career Center in Syracuse, that is as on James Street. So if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer some.
Yeah, this is your time right now to ask questions to Aaron, myself, Sue, Taylor.
Where can you find the job description for that? Like to learn?
To learn more about it.
Yeah.
So we
and to
have, I'm
apply.
going to put it right, I'm going to put it in the chat. It's right on our website. And there is a button right on the website for the job posting, but I'll also put that in the chat as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't want to put her on a spot, but I'm going to. Magdalene, would you mind kind of speaking from your perspective on the program?
Sure thing. It was a really great experience. It's something that I found would be really helpful for teachers that are specifically looking for the different types of jobs that would go for the students in their pathway. Also, like, I think it would be a great position for counselors, because they're doing a lot of that heavy lifting for helping students find that out. But it was a really great experience for me because it opened my eyes to the different possibilities that students have while they're in school to prepare them for the workforce. I did not go to a school that had those options when I was younger. And I really do wish that I had, because they have so many great opportunities. And that was something that I learned doing this teacher ambassadorship program. You get a lot of information about apprenticeships and new entry level positions for jobs. So you're looking at students who may be just looking for a job to work at the grocery store when they're 14. But then you can also get information on students who are looking for those internships. They're 18, they're ready to enter the workforce. For me personally, I really loved learning about the apprenticeships because it's not really something that I dabble in or know a whole lot about. And knowing the different types of programs that are available, you're talking to those people, you're learning about the pay, you're learning about the benefits, you're learning about what they learn. And that to me was the most valuable because I didn't have a lot of experience with that.
Great. Do we have any more questions? Well, here is our contact information. If you need to reach out, if you have any follow-up questions, Sue put in the Coursera information in the website or in the chat, along with their Coursera email. And then we have the youth team email, which comes to me along with Career Zone, and then DOL Ambassador goes to Erin. So I guess you get 7 minutes. Woo.
Well, perfect.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Thank you all, Antoinette, Sue, Aaron, Taylor, the MACNY team, everyone. Thank you very much for this. It was a fantastic amount of information, overwhelming, but awesome. And so we'll digest this. And for those who maybe got on late, or we recorded this, so we're going to make sure that we'll put it on the CTE website. So again, thanks everybody for coming, and thank you all for helping with this.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Nick?
Yeah.
If you could, when this all comes out, can you email me the recording?
Absolutely, I will. Yep, I just stopped it, so I absolutely
you.
will. You
Thank
betcha.
you. Okay,
Thank
have a
you
good
very,
night.
very much.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.